Check, check. There we go. I gotta do my little announcement again. Day is November 24th. I started this stream at 7:59 a.m. on the button. I was reconfiguring some stuff just now to make the stream run smoother. Sorry, I'm in the middle of breakfast and coffee. All right. Uh, yeah, I had my printer plugged in because I had to print stuff yesterday. Forgot to forgot to unplug it and put my mic back in. What's wrong with OBS? Is there an issue? I noticed that it's only like uploading at 450 kilobytes a second. Is the frame rate really bad or something? Well, I'm recording it anyway, so guess we can just leave it at that. There's ESO. What's up, ESO? Uh, 1 hour or 1H side gut. What was that? Do you use OBS or slobs? I use OBS. Was it running better yesterday? Brush. Oh, wrong brush. Ah, now it's going in the red. One of those wannabe famous bots is running better now. You're not switching around stuff. Yes. Yeah, earlier I had to shut down my Netflix app because I had left it running. It's like I'll use the bonus time from like 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. to like try to download some Netflix movies, and I have a computer app that does that. And if you shut it down, like it'll still download those movies in the background if it's not done yet. That's what it was doing. So I had to open the task manager and end it. I had to end it. Yuso says, just making sure you weren't one of those who Googled OBS and accidentally downloaded Streamlabs OBS. Uh-oh. Did I? Well, it says it's OBS. I don't see anything about Streamlabs. OBS Studio. Let me check the properties. OBS Studio. Well, it all says OBS Studio. Would it say Streamlabs OBS? I like how it spells out slob as if it's like a lower quality OBS, which sounds like it wouldn't be too far off the mark. Um, that was a pain in the butt for OBS devs. Though just recently, Streamlabs agreed to remove the OBS from their name. Oh, okay. Well, I think I think I have the straight OBS, just like the regular OBS. I do believe. Just to check, let me look up what Streamlabs OBS looks like, just to make sure. Streamlabs OBS. Yeah, it doesn't say OBS anymore. It says free live streaming and recording software. Oh wait, there it is. Streamlabs OBS. Our goal with the reviews is consolidate all audio settings. I'm gonna just visit this site real quick just to make sure it doesn't look familiar. It's like so because I'm stuck in this whole little. Did I? Didn't I? And it's taking forever to go to the website. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. There we go. Streamlabs desktop setup. Yeah. Yeah, this does not look familiar. Yeah, no. This isn't the one that I got. I think I got the I guess straight legit OBS.
Makes this site even more interesting.
Sorry. I put these like stories up and I haven't started playing them yet. Basically OBS or Isa says, I think Streamlabs 1 has big Streamlabs branding, so you're probably safe. All right. Melody says, one of the easiest ways to save etc. is memories, etc. is to pause preview plus open chat from OBS. Pause preview. I don't think I can pause this thing. Because it's just like a straight live feed. There's like no pause button. Yeah. Isa says, basically OBS is free open source software, so Streamlabs simply downloaded the source code and made a commercial version with some changes. Fucking lame, man. Oh yeah, we'll download the source code and then just slap our branding on there and charge people whatever we feel like. We'll charge people for our version when the actual version is just right next door. Now people don't know. Issa says it's totally legal, but they asked OBS devs if they could use the OBS name, and the devs said, please don't. And then Streamlabs used the name anyways. Fucking assholes. Fucking douchebags. Melody says, right click actual video feed image in OBS. Oh, really? Preview scaling. Lock, lock, enable preview. Oh, preview is currently disabled. Is that where you're? Okay, yeah. Should say pause or disable preview. Yeah, I disabled the preview. There we go. Maybe memory will. Well, for me, it's not like much of a memory issue. It's more of a bandwidth issue. I need a wider band. Someday I got to invest in that Tesla internet, that Starlink. That there Starlink, that new fancy satellite internet service. And by judging from all the specs and such, I'm reckoning it would be a lot better than the satellite internet service that I got now. And for the same price, it seems like it's a very competitive brand. Oh man, I gotta clean my desk. There's like crumbs everywhere. Crumbs and hair. Oh, there's a little spider. What's up, little spider? You just chilling on my laptop? trying to get warm from the CPU. Yeah, I get you. Oh, he ran away. There he is. Get along, little spider. Miller says a toaster with internet connection would be better than what you have now. Yes. Lisa says, hopefully soon with Starlink, perhaps we could even play games together. Oh, fuck, that would be fucking rad. But I sent my computer guts list to like the dude that's going to help me buy some of these computer components. So I'm going to wait and see what he says. He's pretty computer savvy. So I just wanted to give him the list to make sure like all the components are compatible. Oh, I should send him like a spec sheet of like what I currently have, just to like compare, because I did my best to do my research on like each of the components, and from what I can tell, like it's better than the setup I have now. So as long as it's better than what I have, and it can actually run some of the software that I need it to run for like these animation studios I'm trying to apply for. I'm applying to be like a remote like animator for like animation studio work. And some of the programs they use, like the main one is like usually Toon Boom, but then I guess there's another program called like TV Film or Film TV, like another animation production software. So I think as long as it runs Toon Boom, it should like be able to like run any of the other programs that might be out there. But I just want to make sure it's capable of running those software that I have just mentioned. Them software. Maybe then I can, because like trying to find a job out here, like I feel like I'm getting the runaround, especially after like my background check comes in, my background report, and I feel like I'm just getting shined on. Like I'm getting the like the shine job or like whatever you call it. It's like they're telling me like this story and that story, like oh, our approval process is like being so slow. There are so many people that have like applied, but just keep waiting. We'll get back to you. And at this point, like it feels like they're just like leading me on, like giving me that false hope. It's like they don't really want to address. It's like, hey, yeah, your background report came in, and we just don't feel comfortable hiring someone like you. So fucking get lost. Of course, if they said that, maybe I'd have like a lawsuit on my hand, like just them being discriminatory, denying me um, equal employment opportunities as I'm trying to get my life back together because they're being jackasses and assholes. I don't know, like fucking. It might all just be my speculation, but I just feel like it's taken way too long to just start working out here. So I'm opting to like try to land a studio gig. So I'm looking and applying at the moment, but at the same time, like I'm working with this dude to try to get like a more up to date computer setup so I can use these programs that these other studios employ. So if I can get like a legit like paying gig with like a tax forms and such, and I can do it from home, that would be fucking. That would be the bee's knees. That would be the cat's pajamas. That would be the tits. Because like if it's a legit job that I can do from home with tax forms and everything, just working remotely on like big studio animations, like like the courts can't argue with that, you know. uh, Iso says I'd like to see the list. Oh, of my like my spec sheet or whatever. You could. Mel says we could play Broforce. Okay, how long have you guys been chatting? Okay, yeah, we could play Broforce. Hell's yeah! You're about to buy parts. Iso says I'd like to see the list. Yeah, there's this dude who's offered to buy me like computer parts. It's because of like all those like recent like quick animations I've been like posting on YouTube, and he says like, man, like it'd be something along the lines like, why aren't you, or like someday. It was either like, why aren't you working at a professional studio, or someday it would be nice to see you uh, doing this professionally. And I was like, yeah, I used to be there, like because I worked on things like the Skullgirls video game, and I was also a contracted animator for Ugly Americans. But it's just hard getting back up to that point because of my limited hardware. So he opted to like help me out with some of the computer components because I have like an old I have an old tower here that I can hollow out. Ugh, I can hollow out this thing and put some more updated computer guts in there, and I'm hoping that that'll get my foot in the door of like working on studio animation. Oh shit, my stream is dead. Okay, I think we're back. Yeah, my stream looked like it was cutting out. Anyway, Elstar says use the run function and type in DX diagnostics diag. It'll pull up your specs. They basically set you up with an almost impossible task to complete. Yes, they have. Like fucking probation, man. Like if it wasn't for that bitch cunt Sandy Schmidt pre-sentence investigator, like I'd be on Easy Street right now. Like I think I'd be on like my very last year of probation, and all I'd have to do is just coast from here on out, and then I'd be done with probation. Because like the prosecutor wanted to give me 5 years, but that fucking cunt dried up slag crone of a pre-sentence investigator. Shit. Stream died. Stream dead. Come on. Come on, you motherfucker. Ah, bitch. I'm not even connected to the chat right now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Here I am spouting like all this fucking hateful, scornful shit about my pre-sentence investigator, which I'm just to do because like fucking she steamrolled me, man. And but anyway, like I'm speaking all this hateful, scornful shit, and here I am gonna like upload this to YouTube soon, someday, maybe today. Maybe I'll start uploading this stuff today. But my stream is currently having issues. Not even connected to chat right now, so I can't even tell if people are like still chatting. So if Melody and Iso are still plinking away in the chat, like I can't respond because I can't see what they're saying because I'm not connected to the chat. Come on, OBS. What's the issue here? What's the problem? Fuck. Oh, we gotta update this. The stream information. Yeah, that's uploaded. Updated. Fucking OBS, why you gotta be such a bitch like that? Oh, there we go. Chat's back. Damn, now I can send that message. But Melody was telling me like something about pulling up my spec sheet. Well, like I do have this application that I can run that'll give me like a whole rundown of my specs, my CPU, my motherboard, my RAM, and all that cool stuff. Melody says we're here. Cool, cool. Melody, you're the best babylicious babe that I could ever like. Just friggin'. I lost my train of thought, but all in all, you're the best that I've ever known in my life. I keep getting paranoid every time I look up and I don't see my active stream in the window. Like I feel like it's like the my stream is dead. It's gonna take a little time getting used to not seeing whatever's going on in front of me, like up there on the screen. Yeah. But yeah, to answer your question, like Melody was asking, this dude you mentioned isn't called Med, is it? Nope. Nope. He is called something completely different. He's just one of the dudes that followed me and became like one of my friends in Discord. And he had seen like what I was posting recently on YouTube because he follows me on YouTube. And after seeing that, he's just willing to help me get back in the animation game, yo. Melody says, as I said before, your chat decided to self-immolate. this dude you mentioned that wants to help you get new computer guts just isn't called Med, is it? No. No, he's not. No, he is not. Wait, can you hear me? Check, test. Can you hear me? Uh, it'd be nice if I could spell correctly with these gloves. Here. Fuck! The stream keeps dying on me today. So many issues right now. Okay, I gotta pull up my DVD player. Ugh. Oh, okay. So yeah, like the guy who's getting me these computer guts, his name is not Med. Computer guts isn't called Med. Okay, bit of a buffer bump. He's buffering. Gonna be so nice once I get that other set in it. Man, the stream keeps dying. Hmm. Okay, so he sends him over to get more corn. Hmm. Man, LBS is throwing a bitch fit today. Fucking shit. Hmm. I can probably turn off that space heater. I need a space heater because sometimes I start my mornings off at 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Though the rest of me might get like all warmed up, my hands are just freaking chilly. Especially my drawing hand. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Fuck. Missed. I'll pick that up later. Or I can pick it up now. cow. And my chat is still kaput. Like I can't fucking chat anything. Oh well, let's just freaking get back to work. Back to work. Let's merge these layers down. Okay. That layer and that layer. Whoops. Damn it. What is this layer over here? There's nothing in that layer. I'll just move to the top. Oh, we're back. My chat's back. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. So, Melody, what's your concern about this guy? If he were to be, if he was this dude Med, but he's not, I assure you. Mm. Uh, whose hair is this? This is a long gray one. Is that my hair? Oh, it might be. Yeah, that might be one of mine. It's like half black and half gray. Whoops. Do, 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 do. Ha ha ha. Melody says, "Oh no, it would have been a small world deal, is all." Oh, okay. Not sure if you mentioned during the outtakes. And I am still peeved he's made me second hand. Oh, come on, love. He also says, "Do you got a plan of what new parts you will get? AMD or Intel and whatnot?" Right now, I'm looking for affordability and then like looking up the specs and like just making sure that they're better, at least like a step above like what I have now. I'm going with AMD because it's better than my current CPU, but still affordable. Melody says Ryzen is the way to go. Yeah, like I was looking at some Ryzen ones and frick, disconnected. Ass. Damn. Are we back on? Yeah, okay. So, as I was saying, yeah, I was looking at some Ryzen, but then I got like a different like a lower class budget AMD CPU. Now it's not Ryzen, but I looked up like some reviews on it, and it still operated pretty good. Like people were still able to use this CPU for like gaming and such. Although they said like why not spend the extra money just to go ahead and get a Ryzen? And then I looked at how much it would cost, and it's like about $50 more to get a Ryzen. It's like do I want to spend that much? Well, I'm not spending it, but like the dude is spending it. But I sent him the list so far, and we'll see about it and see if he'd be willing to go up to a Ryzen. I don't know. I may or may not like ask him about that. But right now, I'm still currently looking for a decent GPU, and like looking for a decent GPU for a good price is freaking tough. Tough as balls. I mean, like fucking looking up RAM was difficult enough. But I think I found some all right quality RAM, and like this RAM is coming from a company that gives like an actual lifetime warranty, and I'm like fucking like, man, people stopped giving out lifetime warranties like back in the fucking 50s or so, like back when they made quality products that would last for a lifetime. And it was like lifetime warranty, like shit, I'll get behind that. Like fucking if the stick like goes down, they'll like fucking replace it. It's like I guess they believe in their product that much. It's like shit, yeah. And if it goes faulty under like the warranty conditions, like fucking just send it back in for a new one. Shit. And damn. Issa says make sure it's a Zen architecture processor and not some really old one. I don't think it's too terribly old. It might be maybe. Oh shoot! I was looking up a bunch of processors. I think it might be just maybe about 2 years old. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. But me and like dude are gonna go over the list later. See what he says about all that stuff. And I'll ask him if he'd be willing to step up the processor to a Ryzen, like the most affordable Ryzen that might be available. Yeah, stream was wonky today. Fuck. The stream is shit. Session after my break. It's like easier typing it than saying it because I don't know if the stream's gonna cut out any second now. What is my opacity at? Oh, 51. Oh, making sure I was in the right later. Lisa says something like in the Athlon 3000G would be way better than A8. I don't know what any of that means. I have no idea. I can see my breath. He says it's kind of annoying how they keep selling older processors when the price is similar to newer, better ones. Makes it easier for noobs to buy bad gear. Yeah, like the newest processors I could find were like, well, the ones that I think I can sort of afford like go from the 150 to $300 range. And it was like, oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot. So I found like a budget CPU, which looks pretty all right. Like I saw a review on it, if the review can be trusted, and it looked like it ran pretty smoothly for this guy's gaming purposes. And personally, I don't do that much gaming, but it looks like, hey, if it'll handle that, it should be able to handle like the software that I want to use, like for the design and animation. But it would be fun to like get to game around. Because there are some games that got off Steam which require better hardware than I got now. So it'd be cool to be able to play those. How long? Oh, about a little over 45 minutes now. Mm. That's weird. It's like every time I whistle, like I can hear this weird, like electronic feedback. I don't know where it's coming from. Melody says, "This is why I buy you rather low spec games. I know your machine can handle." Sweet. Yeah, I know. It's like fucking the games that you've been sending me. Like, oh my God, so much fun. That, first off, that Blasphemous is just like freaking, like really stylish and whatever. Like, yeah, I had some like freaking hard times like dealing with some of the bosses because man, some of those bosses are just freaking cheap. But that Astalon, that game was like pretty freaking epic. It was huge, and I got like other endings to try to like look for. And I get the sense that one of the endings might come from like trying to die less because every time I um, for that cutscene when you like come back to life, like my character's like image, it kept getting redder and redder. Like each time it got more red until it was like just like really red. So I'm thinking that if I can avoid that image getting that red from not dying as often, I'm wondering if that might be like another ending in there. But I don't know. That's just me speculating. And my chat is down. I can't chat. The stream is still up, but for some reason the chat window says it's connecting to chat. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to mimic this shot here. I can't really tell what's going on because I don't speak Navajo. I speak a very little bit of it, and but I understand a lot less. So I'm just trying to mimic the gesture here, and it seems like he's sending the horned toad over to like get more corn to like feed him with. So I'm just drawing more or less the same gesture, but like I'm gonna have him pointing in my version, my reanimated version. Oh, I almost needed to sneeze. Missed it. Get it there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just put on some stories.
Is that this site was surrounded by open fields and little else. There is no way possible for somebody to hide out there.
Oh,
So, what was this thing doing?
Melody's been duping me some stuff. When was this duped? Like about an hour ago. Oh, she was like telling me how to disable, trying to show me how to disable my preview thing. Okay. Okay. Can can still sort of see my breath. It's like 40 degrees right now, as opposed to the 30 it usually is. At 30, like I can clearly see my breath, but right now, it's still
Just standing
very
there,
cold.
staring at the deputy. When asked why he didn't do anything to apprehend it or even fire upon it, he said that he felt paralyzed with fear. He claims that his mind was telling him one thing, but his body would simply not listen. This is when he went back inside the building, calling for backup. When other deputies arrived on location, they could find no sign of any type of activity taking place. There were also no footprints found near the fence line or anywhere else throughout the dirt road leading up to where this creature had been seen standing. Imagine living in a world where you fear everything around you. You never know if something is lurking in the shadows or waiting for its next victim. Those are the people who have to live with this kind of anxiety all the time. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a world where every dark corner could hold some unseen danger? What if there was something out there that was watching your every move, hiding when needed, only to return once again when you least expect it to strike without any warning? These are just some questions that many individuals could ask themselves whenever they hear stories about strange sightings taking place somewhere in or near their own city. Every day, somebody else is coming forward, claiming too that they have seen something out of this world, or not quite human in appearance.
It
Whether
was
these
out of
claims are
this
true or not is
world.
anybody's guess at this point. But what if one day, whatever is hiding in the shadows decides that we are not the ones who should be living on this planet anymore? That is a very deep and creepy thought to ponder about during one's downtime. Hopefully, these stories of strange encounters will just turn out to be lurking in the shadows and not actually be true. 2013, Officer Torg managed to secure an actual live DNA sample from a livestock kill while investigating the supposed Lizardman case out in Bishopville, South Carolina. 8:01 a.m. He had responded to several calls of a large unknown predator supposedly killing livestock, to which he promptly responded. Upon arriving and following standard protocol for such a call, he quickly realized the severity of the situation, establishing a perimeter around the kill site to keep onlookers away. 8:20 a.m. Torg obtained saliva from an unknown source on one of the cattle. He reported that it was not possible to tell if it was human or animal, 9:30 a.m. All evidence had been gathered and moved to evidence room waiting analysis. Officer Torg will have DNA results in approximately 3 weeks, he was told. As always, we strongly urge anybody with information regarding this incident to please report to your local authorities immediately, so these investigations can be taken care of under proper jurisdiction. 2 young men also reportedly saw what they described as a lizard man along a very rural road in eastern South Carolina Sunday night. According to reports, 2 19-year-old men were driving along a stretch of highway near Bishopville, and they came upon something in the road. They turned around and saw what they described as a 7-foot-tall lizard man and quickly drove off. When asked further for comment, they both said this was no man in a costume, that this was a real-life lizard man, and must have been the same one seen back in the 80s by the young man who had his own sighting in Skateboard Swamp in 1984. In 2002, I had just responded to a call outside of Glendale, Rhode Island. We were called to the area because a hunter had been chased by what he believed was a large bat humanoid. Its face and eyes looked like a ball about 2 inches across, very bright, and seemed to be grinning at him, full of sharp teeth. The wings did not flap, but somehow glided away from the man who was still standing in amazement at what he just saw. It flew off into the trees and never came back out. I searched for over an hour, trying to find this creature without success.
Oh my
I heard no other
knees.
sightings since then. Either there is a bit of hunting that goes on in the area throughout the year. Officer B, who will remain anonymous for this report, indicates that it wasn't something that could have easily been explained. They are very hesitant to share their full encounter due to ridicule. He did, however, describe the creature and did not indicate that it did not seem to be something that could have easily been misidentified as any known animal. Officer B has also indicated that there was also a constant stream of hunters in this area during this time of search, but no other reports were noted for this specific area at the time. He did state that he had heard stories from other officers regarding strange sightings and experiences with various large bat-like creatures all around Glendale, Rhode Island, over the course of several years, dating back prior to 2002. Of note, Officer B has indicated that they are considered by some members of law enforcement as reliable witnesses due to their hard-earned reputation for truthful reporting of facts associated with their profession. This creature's sighting remains unexplained. Officer B stated that he has seen other reports in the area and has indicated similar sightings in the general area, though no other locations in Glendale match these reports.
On the last one?
There is also note that a man by the name of John Baglieri was doing some work in a cemetery in Glendale. He claims to have seen a large creature in one section of the cemetery back in 1994. He described it as demonic, tall, black, with large wings. He claimed that it flew directly over his head. He believes it came from a portal from hell. He equates its size to be roughly 8 feet tall if standing. Though this report isn't specific to Glendale, I did extensive research for any type of flying humanoid report from all around the area, and only 3, including Officer B's sightings, popped up. All other similar sightings I located were across the country, not limited to southern New England. Officer B later sent me an email indicating that there have been other strange incidents prior to his own sighting. 2 years previously, a local youth had been severely mauled by something he described as a big hairy thing with wings. No other reports came out from the area regarding the incident.
Can just be
the boy was never interviewed or heard from again.
Duplicated.
Although I think a large part of that is the media jumping in to shut that down
It's
before
like
the public got word and began to mass panic.
Very same shot.
Officer B indicated that it appeared to him that law enforcement was trying their best not to mention the incident to the public. At one point or another, government officials had stepped in and took control over the case.
Chat with me in Discord.
Officer B had also contacted me later, indicating that he had also spoken to a retired officer. They said they were involved in an incident where one of their colleagues was attacked by something very large and unidentified. This was after responding to a call in the same general vicinity. This is likely what led them to investigate further when they received the initial hunter's report. I'm aware of several areas across New England and the world that have, on occasion, had incidents like these. There's usually some kind of game or animal to blame, though what is described by Officer B doesn't appear to be anything like an owl or other known species of flying animal. As always, I welcome any further information regarding this type of report. If you have experienced similar events, feel free to contact me. I am also looking for input from individuals who are interested in real research and would enjoy being involved with a group working together on finding explanations for currently unexplained mysteries across New England and beyond. Officer B, whose name will be kept confidential to protect their employment and identity status, also indicated that immediately following the sightings, there had been government officials reporting the same thing, documented as looking like a big person with wings. Other than a few hunters who claim they've seen something large and unidentified flying around at night, nothing has been said about the incident. It is assumed that law enforcement will follow up with further investigation if they can confirm something was actually sighted that evening near Glendale. But since we are relying largely on bureaucracy, I wouldn't hold my
Let me
breath.
go ahead and pull up this CPU
In
just
this
so there are,
report,
just
a
so
group
there are
of
no more
5 police officers
questions.
all heard a very loud scream in the distance. One officer immediately identified it as a cougar,
It's
but
taking a while
when
to
they got to
load.
investigate, they found no such cougar existed in the whole area. They know it was not a human due to its volume and inhuman nature. Second and third interviews with Gregory Riddle in this report. The witness talks about seeing an unknown animal twice from his car while driving down a road at night.
Yeah,
He
Athlon. I
quickly
think
gets out
that's the
there
CPU I was
after
looking
seeing
at.
the animal
That sounds
identifications.
familiar.
He knows
He
something
just
is
says, I
off about
strongly
it.
urge you go for
It gives
this
me
CPU
chills
instead
just
of
looking at it. This
minimum.
report
It was
also has
released
some
in
information
2019. I
from
think
the
that
first interview,
might be the one I was
where the
looking at.
only witness discusses other
Support
cryptids
for
that he has
Windows
seen
11.
before.
It does have 2 cores
This is
instead of
not the
4,
only
but they
sighting,
were faster
but
than
it
the
has affected his way of
A8.
thinking. Here's the first
I
interview.
think that is the one I'm looking at.
January
I'm trying
27th,
to pull up my
2012.
Amazon list to like
I want to report a
pull the link,
cryptid
but I
that was
think
seen
it
in the
was
vicinity of
Athlon.
Maine on October 5th, 2010. This is around
I don't know if
9:35
anybody
p.m.
heard that
By
because my
myself and one
freaking
other
stream
person.
is like
The creature
I
was
should
about
just go ahead and
8.5
type
feet
that.
tall or more, white or light in color,
Yeah, I think
no skin,
Ath
no hair.
Athlon
It looked almost skeletal, or as I would
on
call, mummified.
my list.
It looked very large, standing up straight. It was walking upright when we first saw it. We only caught sight of it through our
I tried to
headlights
pull up my
when we were
Amazon
driving on a
list, but it
two-lane
wasn't
road
letting me.
right where it crossed onto another smaller road. It had been walking along the edge of the woods, disappearing into them after we saw it, before we could really get out and get a good look at it. We did not see its face or hands at this point, since it moved so quickly. We turned off our headlights and stopped near, and we lost sight of it. We could not see anything in front of us with our high beams on anyway.
Sounds
It
very
surprised me when
familiar.
I'm driving at night with my high beams on. Nothing is too bright for me to see, even
Okay.
deer standing in the middle of the road or other
Where was
cars
I?
coming from behind. I told my
That's
friend
right
that there
here.
was something big in front of us,
I
to
was,
slow
I
down
was
and watch for it.
drawing.
After we stopped, turned off our headlights, we could see that there was something in the road, about 100 feet away from us, but could not tell what it was due to the snow on the ground, and making everything appear darker than usual. It's really hard to explain. We sat there looking at it while my friend backed up slowly. It was still standing there, and he had to put enough distance between us so it could not see us anymore. As I mentioned, this thing looked like a large mummified skeleton. It was easily the creepiest, most closest thing to Night of the Living Dead you can ever imagine. But it looked far more animalistic than just some huge human skeleton walking around. Either way, the whole incident took less than a couple minutes until it passed. The other interviews included in this report have been since whited out, and unfortunately am unable to be included in this database. Thank you for your understanding. I will be telling you what I saw and heard while on duty in the evening of Thursday, July 15th, 2004. I was dispatched to an area. There had been reports of a lot of screaming. Once arriving at the scene, I met with 2 other officers, who we will refer to as A and B. We proceeded into a wooded area that led out onto a street near a housing development. It was from that same location that we had heard these crazy yelling, screaming coming from behind us in the woods, just off the side of the street. They were very loud,
Now it says,
very
woo,
high
heard.
pitched. There was some lower pitches mixed in there as
Cool.
well. I have never heard anything like this before since being on duty
Yeah,
in
Athlon
Plymouth
sounds
County.
really familiar. I remember I was like
Since my
looking at
partner
two
and
of
I were
them,
the
the
only ones
Ryzen
who
at
actually
first, but I
heard
was like,
this,
oh,
we
that's
talked about
expensive.
it.
And then I
Both of us
looked for the
thinking we'd
one
heard some
just
type of
below
Bigfoot-like
that
creature,
price range, which was an
while not
Athlon.
necessarily believers.
Then I looked up
We
the
like to say we keep our options open. We had officers see with us as
like a
well,
review
but he
of
never heard
it,
the screams or anything
and the
else.
review looked pretty good.
One
Like
other thing I'd like to add
saying it
is
was a
there were
good
no
processor
residences
for
on the
the
street at
price.
the time. Nothing back off the road where we first came out into the woods. There were no vehicles either. This whole area has been developed since then,
But
though
yeah, I
there are a
believe
few
it was an
houses now
Athlon.
back off the street where we first came out on.
Yes, yes, yes.
The noise we heard down in those woods could be best described as a long scream or yell, mixed with a howl and growl. It
Oh,
sent chills down my spine that night, even as a trained law enforcement official. I never saw anything like this before, and I have not seen or heard it since either. I do hope that one day I will see something like that again. I know there are certain things out there we cannot explain, and that's what makes it all the more intriguing. It should also be included that Officer A had a previous sighting of the same type of size of creature back in the early 90s. Might have been 91 or 92. I actually spoke with him about it. He described to me what he saw. It was very similar to the way I would describe our screams that evening. The most striking thing was that he just stated that it stood there staring at him for almost 10 minutes. Or so he said it felt like it, but it was probably only 30 seconds. Again, all this took place out in Plymouth County. In 1981, an officer claims that he was on patrol with another officer. They received a call about something large in a wooded area of Sand Ridge State Forest. When they went to investigate, lo and behold, they saw what appeared to be a hair-covered man standing on two legs, watching them from about 200 feet away. The creature quickly ran off into the woods before either could get a good look at it. But both stated it looked like something out of this world. The following is an excerpt from the witness's report about what happened. As we pulled up, it walked on two legs until reaching a tree, then knelt down behind it, rose up back on two legs, and continued staring at us. Officer Odia got out of the car, rifle in hand.
Officer
I
Odia,
got out,
no!
putting my spare revolver in my waistband, pulling out my shotgun from its bracket under the dash. We both walked to the front of the cruiser, each taking a side, scanning for it, when Odia said loudly, "There it is." I didn't see anything, so shouted where. He told me where it was, behind a tree, about 45 yards away, crouched down, watching us. He instructed me to stay back while he approached it for a better look. Odia stated that he watched as this thing kept looking left and right, making sure nobody else was coming. Once satisfied that they were alone, it began running back towards us. That's when I took my first shot at it with my 12 gauge. It was just beginning to rise up though, so all that happened was buckshot spraying into the tree behind it. Odia then grabbed me, told me to follow him back to the car. Once we got back in the car, he told me we needed to leave now. It was very dark, but still light enough for us to see. This thing was hideous. Odia has since passed away. Before he died, though, he wanted to come out and get this story for all these years. I just never knew how or what the right time was. But most people have a hard time believing that policemen would not take into account shooting an unknown cryptid. However, when working with Odia, he claimed he would never shoot and kill a Bigfoot because there was simply too much paperwork. One of the scariest things about this whole incident is that whatever these officers saw, something using intelligence as well as somehow knowing when other people are coming. Police officers from Beaver Township, Ohio, report a bizarre bipedal creature that they witnessed in the early morning hours. On October 25th, 2018, at around 5:03 in the morning, 4 separate police officers from Beaver Police Department all had a terrifying encounter with an unknown bipedal creature. Investigators were on patrol, driving down an isolated road, known as Davis Road. They noticed something strange near the edge of the road, pulled up to see what it was. Out of nowhere, a large man-like figure appeared and stood about 7 feet tall, so close to the car that they could have reached out and touched him. The officers described seeing features like a very elongated, bony face, huge fangs sticking out of its mouth, and black eyes, akin to that of a shark's. Prior to the sighting, the officers noticed something moving along one of the roads in their line of sight, but they weren't exactly sure what it was. Their curiosity got the best of them, so they decided to investigate. When they reached where it had been spotted, all 4 officers were able to see the creature in full view. They described it being so close that if it wanted to, this thing looked like it was going to jump out at them.
Iso says, well, I gotta go. Feel free to send a message on Discord if you got any questions about PC parts. Cool, I says. Thanks for popping in, Iso. I'll definitely ask you if I had any further questions. Oh, I should ask about GPUs. OBS disconnected. Fuck! Okay. Calm down, Black Horse. Calm down. Just get back to the stories.
One of them said, "It was like nothing I've ever seen before," while the other officers agreed with him. According to one officer who did not want to go on camera about what he saw that morning, he knew immediately that it was not a bear or any type of person or thing. He also said it only took seconds for their eyes to adjust and see exactly what he was witnessing.
Yay.
It seemed as if this creature had its own light source, being able to be easily spotted as well. This is some strange stuff. Weird places are all out there. To add to their statements, after it had disappeared into the nearby bush, 2 of the officers left their posts to join other 2 to make the group and investigate. They came up with nothing, except a large hoof mark in the area where they found some broken bones, among other things. They told me that I can't find any evidence of that myself. It would have been on the news if it was proof. They informed me that there will never be evidence for such things like this, and that if it ever got on the news, it would be very quickly retracted.
Creepy.
I was a young highway patrol officer, patrolling the highways of Maryland. It must have been around 2 or 3 in the
Patrolling
morning.
the highways.
I was driving on
of
Interstate
Maryland.
95, closing up towards Baltimore. The speed limit in that section of highway
45
is
minutes left to
65
go.
miles an hour.
Sweet. Thanks,
I
love.
would always patrol between the 2 left lanes so people could see my lights and not get too comfortable driving 20 over the speed limit. As I came up to where 695 splits off from 95 northbound, heading towards Fullerton, there was this dark figure standing in the right lane ahead of me. It looked like a person, but it did not move at all. It just stood there next to the barrier wall, separating the right lane from the exit ramp for Fullerton Avenue North, coming out of Philly. So naturally, I sped up slowly to catch up with this person, thinking they must be injured or something. As I get closer, still maintaining the speed limit, or just under, this thing turns its head to look at me head on, and I notice it has 2 glowing red eyes in the center of its face. It was very intense and terrifying, but what struck me most was its teeth. This thing had fangs like a wolf or bear, very sharp edges protruding out of its mouth. Its whole demeanor was extremely menacing. It did not look human at all, but when it turned around and stared right at me, I slammed on my brakes in sheer terror. I managed to get myself together after a couple of seconds, speeding away, hoping not to lose control of my car and wreck. Ironically, I heard radio communications from another officer about 10 minutes later that a driver up the road had witnessed an upright, decaying animal running across the road.
Fuck,
It
creepy.
was as if it had been hit by a car and left a trail of blood on the pavement for about 50 yards before completely disappearing from sight, crossing into another street. I'm not sure what this thing is, but I've never seen anything like it. Not my story, but one my family has shared with me, as they are close with one of our fellow reservation officers. My uncle, a
Another res
police
story.
officer on the Navajo reservation, was
Woo!
out in his squad car patrolling the area when he comes across something moving in the shadows of the mesa. He slowed down to get a better look at what was out during patrol hours, and what emerged from the shadows was not any kind of animal my family.
Oh, come on. Caught up to the buffer, eh? Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Let it load for a while. Old horn toad is like, nope, that's enough. I can't feed you anymore. What should I have for breakfast? Ooh, still got some mutton stew in the fridge. Think I'll try to finish off some of that. Also, some barbecue chicken from last night. But I think I'll opt for the stew. Because that was some good ass mutton stew. Mm. Oh, frick! Oh, oh. What do you want, cat? Oh, where are you? Fat Jack. Fat Jack. Where'd you go? Oh, you're like right directly behind me. Oh, you're probably hungry. I haven't fed you yet this morning. I have Fat Jack over here. Melody's thinking about dinner over where she's at. I'm thinking about breakfast. She's thinking about dinner. Yeah, I got Fat Jack over here, another cat. I took the other cat back to my family because that cat's not dying anymore. The only reason I brought a cat into my cabin, I never wanted to have a pet, but the only reason I brought that cat over is because we all thought it was going to die. So I brought it over to my cabin because it's sparse. So if it does die, like usually what animals do is that they find some like hard to reach corner, like crawl under something and just die that way. So instead of doing that at the house where it would be difficult for us to like get it out if it tried to like crawl into some dark hole somewhere in the house, or like under some, like under a bed or under one of the shelves where it's like hard to dig it out. Opted to bring that cat over here, so if it did die, like cleanup would be easy. So brought that cat over and cared for it, and eventually like that cat got better. It's not dying anymore, but I swapped that cat out for this cat right now, Fat Jack. And the issue with him is that sometimes when he gets too fat, yes, I'm talking about you, Fat Jack, you fatty chunker cat. Yeah, when he gets too fat, he starts pissing blood. So we started pissing blood again. So I figured, like, you know what? I'm gonna bring him over to the cabin and put him on a diet. Now that that other cat's not dying anymore. So I just swapped the two out. But this cat is spoiled. My mom spoiled him because he has a bad habit of begging, and if he doesn't get what he wants off of your plate, like he'll just smack it out of your hands. Like the other day, like I was eating Gardettos, like my favorite munching snack food, Gardettos, and he was like just kind of like sitting on my lap, just like wanted me to give him some. He's like, no, these are fucking my Gardettos. Fuck off, cat. And he just stayed there, just like looking pensively at my snacks as I'm eating them. And then I pick up one of the pretzels and I bring it toward my mouth, and he just smacks it out of my hand. You son of a bitch. He's a funny cat though. It's hard to get after him because he's just so chonky. He's just funny to look at sometimes, but he needs to go on a serious diet, and that's why I brought him over here, because you can't have him like pissing blood all over the place. Because like he'll do that. Like when he starts pissing blood, he won't piss in the actual litter box. He'll just like pee blood right on the floor, and that's gross. I don't know why he does that. It's like he's fully capable of getting around, and he can, if he's peeing blood, he has the capability of going into the litter box and peeing there. But if he's peeing blood, he'll just choose to just piss right on the floor. So we can't have that, especially with my baby nephew over there. So I swapped him out, brought this cat over to like put him on a diet and just not feed him as much as he's used to eating. But he's been doing pretty good. In fact, I should probably weigh him. Fat Jack, 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 Jack. You want to eat a little bit? Where are you? There you are. No, not yet. I'm gonna weigh you. Yeah. No, stand still. 17.8 pounds. Ah, hold still. Yep, 17.8. How the hell did you gain weight? Unless I didn't weigh you correctly the first time. Yeah. But here's the fat chunker cat. Look at that belly. Huh? Yeah, look at him. You obese chunker. He's not peeing blood anymore, so that's good. But still, though, I'm gonna keep him on a diet until he loses some more weight. I would take him on walks, but we got several dogs outside that would love to get at him. And recently, one of those dogs snapped his chain, so can't uh, can't have cats like that walking around with dogs trying to snap their chains, trying to get at them. Anyway, Melody says we have a cat that comes pouncing around here at our back door. It's one of those cats that's already well fed, has a collar. So I open the door and let my dog chase the pouncing fucker off, or I give it a kick in the head. Oh my god, Melody, the cat's a fast bastard that ate all the pies. What? Shitty cat ate all the pies. I'm glad you're not like that. Yeah, like once I got back to the res, I was like the cat enforcer because like once I got back, like the cats were allowed to like go anywhere. They were allowed to go on counters and on the table. You remember that, Jack? Yeah. When I'm around, cats aren't allowed on the table or the counters. But they learn quick, so they don't get on the counters or the tables anymore. But man, fuck, I was pissed. Like, especially with Fat Jack. Yeah, I'm talking about you again. It was one of the last times he braved his chances of getting on the table, and he fucking got into the leftover KFC. Fucking don't come between me and KFC, man. If you fucking touch my KFC, I'm liable to fucking kill you. Stupid cat. And I chased that cat all everywhere. And fucking to like drive the point home, I took the KFC. It was the breast piece too, like the large chicken breast piece that he was like munching at. I took that fucking thing and I just smushed it right in his face. And was like, "You want my KFC? You fucking have it, you fucking piece of shit." Oh, I was pissed. But yeah, I smushed that KFC right in his face. I was like a fucking like a terror and a half. Like flipping over couches and whatever just to freaking get at him. Good God! But yeah, that was the last time he ever got on the table. None of the cats get on the table anymore. Like fucking fuck with my KFC. You're fucking with your life, buddy. But yeah, they know better now. Okay, let's go ahead and take a portion of this background. 30 minutes left. Thank you, love. Now Fat Jack's just sitting at the front door. I don't know why he's so interested about going outside nowadays. Like back at the main house, they wouldn't go outside worth jack. But now that this cat is over here, like he just wants to go outside. The other cat didn't have an issue like that, but this one, like he's just really curious about going outside now. But the problem is, there's a pit bull chained up right out next door. Pardon. But maybe these cats should become outside cats, especially this fat one, so he can lose some weight. I think Fat Jack just wants to go back to the main house because that's where he got to eat most of the time, like pretty much as he wanted. Um, Hello? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whew. That was this is my stepdad. He wanted to know. Oh man, my ears. Whoo. He wanted to know the size of tires that were on the truck, so he could shop around for some new ones. Oh, oh man. Just being outside for that short amount of time, it's really chilled my ears. I don't know how cold it is out there, but in here Still about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm so glad I bought this thermometer. It's like a little wall thermometer I got for a couple of bucks from Walmart. Now I can see by how much I'm freezing my ass off, especially in the mornings. Sometimes when I wake up, start going about my morning routine, I like feel my nose and it feels like kind of feels like it's on the verge of like frostbite. Of course, like I'm being hyperbolic, but it just feels weird. Like my nose feels just really chilly and sensitive. Melody says he needs a cat wheel. He probably does. Oh shit. He disappeared. He's somewhere. Melody says the worst one is when the cold air feels like it's squeezing and constricting your lungs. Oh god. Especially if you have to like jog through it. Like it just burns your lungs. Oof. There have been some times in the past where I'd jog in the cold for like health sake, and just like the ice cold air going into the nose, like it just burned my nose for the most part. Painful. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 storyboards so far. Looks like I'll be copying this one. Whoops. Mm. Putting the animatic for this is going to be pretty nice. I'm hoping if I can get an animatic out there after I post all these like update videos or whatever, I'll start getting some community funding because I haven't received $1 for this yet, even though a lot of people promised to donate something. I mean, the donation site is up there. People who want to donate, the link is there, but no one's done it yet. Mm. 15 minutes, Melody says. Oh shit, really? Yeah, wow. Time really flies when you're doing community service. Oh shit, I wish. But what I really need to do is just get as much of this done so I can show all this progress, not only to please the courts, but to get people interested in donating to this project. So all my efforts can be like a little somewhat lucrative, because spending a lot of time on this community service when I could be like earning money is just really, really digging into my bank account. And we got to get more hay for the horses, and we got no money. Use the last bit of the hay this morning. No, he says, yeah, we have gay Paris to visit. Yes. Yes, we do. Oh, man. I'm just really chilly right now. I might turn the heater back on. I gotta get myself like a wood burning stove. Cheapest wood burning stove I could find, like on Amazon, is like for 150 bucks, and it's like a portable camping stove. And looking at it and everything is like, ah, shit, that'll do. And so Melody says, "Ich gay Paris, you nerd." Yes. In the next art picky we're gonna work on, I'll be drawing Gay Paris as the backdrop. 7 minutes. Sweet. More like 5 right now. Oh, man. Gonna get me some of that leftover mutton stew. See if there's any leftover coffee too. Oh, I was listening to stories. Shit. There's like only about 2 minutes left. What is your point? Melody says she was listening to Fear Factor. Using my own pause as reference. How are we looking on time, love? Time. Sweet. All right. That's like 2 hours and 2 minutes. By my clock, anyway. But yeah, let's see. That'll be it for now. Gonna go take a break. Be back in about an hour. And hope you enjoyed. We shall check you all in a bit. Sweet. Bye.